只有质疑或者发言回答问题的权利，没有表决权。
是。
其他的呢就是
手续部上是列席的嘛？
列席的，然后康区的10位议员，然后是安都的10位，然后卫藏的10位30，然后加上各宗教的4大传承8个，然后本教的2个宗教议员是10名，然后在欧洲两个名额，在美洲2个名额，那44名额。
And he must have explained to you we have a few unique characteristics, unlike which we don't right now. It's a mix of presidential and parliament system, not exactly like the United States or not exactly like India. And since the chief of the cabinet is elected directly by the people, and his cabinet members are nominated by him with the approval of the House, the cabinet can take part in all procedure of the House except in decision making. They cannot raise their hand when we decide on any particular issue. They can speak, they can introduce bills, they can convince the members on everything.
They can introduce bills?
Of course. They have to be answerable, accountable, and responsible to the parliament. That is one unique feature of our democracy. If it changes, I don't know how it will change. Another thing is we don't have political parties. No political parties. There is one called National Democratic Party of Tibet. In fact, the rules and regulations does not bar people from forming political parties. They can form, and there is one. But then it's like a Japanese bonsai. It does not grow beyond a point. It looks beautiful just to say there is one political party. And normally, of course, political parties are formed on basis of political ideology or issues like green, labor, and like that. And we don't, for us, in the exile circumstances, it does not make much sense. Then, when there is no political party, there is no ruling party or opposition party. So all the members have to decide, use their conscience based on issues that come up in the House. So either to support or reject or go against it. And we don't have territorial constituencies. Any independent country have territory, one man, one vote. Here, from the very beginning, in 1960, when we formed the parliament, people were representing the traditional provinces inside Tibet. Uzang, Kham, Amdo, now 10 members from 3 provinces. So Sangye and me, we come from same province, Amdo. He can vote for 10 people. I can vote for 10 people.
Can vote for 10 people?
Vote.
Yeah, one person can vote for 10 people.
Vote.
Yeah. So we follow 2 stages, one preliminary and final. So preliminary stage, there is no candidate. Of course, non-governmental organizations can come up with names, but it's basically people who can vote for anybody. So once the result of the preliminary election comes out, then the election commission sends not less than double. So for Amdo province, you have to elect 10 people. Election commission sends minimum 20 people as candidates, top 20 people. If anybody wants to resign, they can resign. Then over 20 people, if there are any volunteers who wants to stand for parliament, voluntary candidates, they can also take part. And then 4 Buddhist traditions, Saikya, Nyingma, Kaipu, Geluk, 4 Buddhist traditions and 1 pre-Buddhist religion called Bon. They all elect 2 members from their tradition. So 5 traditions, 10 people. 2 from Europe. Tibetans in Europe vote for 2 people. Tibetans in North America vote for 2 people. So this time, the first 2 candidates were from Toronto, both. More Tibetans in the United States. but very scattered. So today we are 44 members in the House. Then what else? Rest are all like any other parliament. First 30 years we could not move as much as His Holiness wanted us to move. Then 1991 we had a new charter. The number of members also increased. Now we have 25 other regulations to govern the Tibetans in exile and under the exile circumstances. Then 10 years later, 2001, again His Holiness said we have to change the election of the cabinet members. Then finally we came to this decision that the Prime Minister will be elected directly by Tibetans all over the world. So from this very small area here, we have very good link with all the Tibetan communities, and elections are held in one day all over the world. But result takes time to come here because we have to do the final totaling.
So it has to be paper election or electronic?
Paper.
Paper. Yeah. Actually, when for the election for the
Observation.
For the prime minister, for the cabinet, how the people will qualify for list of voter.
Above 18 years of age, anybody above 18 years of age, they have to register with the local election commission. Like in Australia, they must have his Department of Information and International Relations. We have office in Tokyo. Under Tokyo, South Korea, Philippines, Mongolia, all this country from Tokyo office. Then Taiwan, only Taiwan. Australia, New Zealand, Australia, Malaysia, these kind of countries. So our office in Canberra, he has to take care. Of course, it's not possible to reach out to everybody, and our human and financial resources are very little. Each office has only 2, 3, 4 staff members. And then India, Nepal, Moscow, South Africa, in Pretoria, in Geneva, Brussels, London, New York, we have these offices. The whole world map is divided into these 10 offices. And the representative of His Holiness in each of these offices becomes the local election commissioner when the election takes place. Now let us say, for example, Geneva. Geneva has at least Tibetans in Austria, in Vienna and other Salzburg and other areas, Tibetans in Italy, a Tibetan community in Switzerland, and Tibetan community in Germany. So these Tibetan communities, leaders of these Tibetan communities also become members of the election commission. So in each place we send people and then they come and vote. To become a member of parliament you have to be 25 minimum, to vote 18, and for prime minister and minister above 35.
What's the percentage of population from different 3 geographical areas?
It's difficult to say exactly, but since Central Tibet has proximity with the Indian border, more people could come from Uzang. And Amdo very far away from India, Qinghai province. So only those Amdos who were monks in Central Tibet, in Lhasa, they managed to come to India. So like my father was a monk before. After coming into exile, he got married. Before coming into exile, he got married to a lady from Central Tibet. So like that, Khampa, about 70%, maybe 65 to 70% Tibetans from Central Tibet.
But they still give 10 for each area.
Yes,
10.
because the significance of that is that we are supposed to represent the whole of Tibet. So irrespective of the number of people here, inside Tibet, Amdo, little more than 2 million, come little less than 2 million, and Uzang about 2 million, so that becomes 6 million.
That's it.
So even though they have no right to vote, they cannot vote for this election here, but we have to represent them. So irrespective of the number of population from each province, everybody elects 10 people. Even religious tradition, Gelugpa has largest number. Phumbo, very little, so you can win with even 100 votes for some seats. For some seats, you need 10,000 votes, 12,000 votes. That's it.
And what do the parliament members do when you are not in session?
11 members are here. Two from each province, one from each religious tradition. So 11 members, including speaker and deputy speaker. We stay here all the time, and then we look at day-to-day work, all that.
So you have a pay? You have a pay?
Pay, yes. For other members who live in their own areas, like the United States, Europe, and in other parts of India, Nepal, we don't have territorial constituencies. But since I became speaker, we decided to give them areas to look after. So 2 members responsible for this settlement or this area. So in 2.5 years, they try to go at least 2 times a year to visit. And one job is to give political education, general understanding of what is happening in China, Tibet, internationally, what is happening to the Tibetan issue. So these kind of, whatever new things come up, we educate our people on political things. Second job is democratization. So we have parliament here, cabinet here, Supreme Justice Commission. At the local level, we have administrators. Then we also have local assemblies who make laws for the local community. And since there is not enough, we don't have much litigation. Even if we have Supreme Justice Commission, so far only about 15 cases in the last 17, 18 years. Not many Tibetan ones who go to the court. But still we have to provide the infrastructure, the facility, the institutions. So we have one in North India, one in South India, branch commissions, justice commissions. And now we are going to start 2 more, one in Ladakh and one in Northeast Sikkim, Paongla settlement. So democratization at grassroots level, again giving training to elected leadership on the functions of local assemblies, all that thing. Then we also, right now we are going through a huge social change inside Tibet, of course, Tibetan identity, big problem. India, Nepal, Bhutan, more Tibetans are going to the west these days, in Europe and Americas. Then, of course, everybody did not stay in one place. In India, when we came first, people were put in compact communities, Tibetan settlements. So some land were given by Indian state governments, and we settled. So we have our school, we have our monasteries, we speak our language, we preserve everything. But in the West, like say New York, also so many Tibetans live in so many different parts. But if at least if they are in one city, they manage to organize a community. And then now serious problem with education of the new generation. So they have to be educated in an American way. Again, they have to learn Tibetan, our own tradition. Normally Chinese are very good in speaking only their language.